Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm back with another review of the slate for week 4 of the NFL. Last week, we fared pretty well, man. Just a few minor mistakes. I played Yeldon. I don't know why I thought the Jaguars could even keep it close with the Patriots. I really figured that the Patriots and Jags would be maybe a 10-point difference in that game, and the Jaguars will keep it close enough to where they'll get at least 17, 20 carries, which didn't turn out that way because the Patriots still struggle with stopping the run, but Jaguars are just so horrible, man. It was no chance that I'm even keeping it close, man. I underestimated the Patriots. Maybe my bias got in the way of that because I'm a Patriot hater, and I actually thought Jaguars could keep it close. The defense isn't the worst in the world, but um, not to harp on that too long, man. Let's get into today's slate. Um, QB. Let's start out with QB. I'm not gonna go team by team. I'm actually go position by position this time, and we all know the highest priced player on here, man. Aaron Rodgers. Let's talk about him. It's a good matchup with San Fran right now. He's pretty much the most consistent quarterback in the NFL right now. There's pretty much nobody else you could put above him. Andy Dalton's been doing pretty well, but do we trust him? No. I know I don't. So Aaron Rodgers, he's consistently giving you 2 TDs a game, close to 300 yards. 49ers 27th in pass defense. That fares well for Aaron Rodgers, who's still getting it done with no Jordy Nelson. James Jones has risen to the occasion. Randall Cobb, they're making an effort to keep giving him the ball. I think Devontae Adams is back, if I'm not mistaken. I keep saying up for some reason. I don't know why. He's questionable. I'm saying maybe okay. So his status remains to be clear. So I'm the way I'm looking at it, man. Randall Cobb and James Jones definitely be playing, man, getting all the targets. Even if Devontae Adams happens to play, just looking at his injury, but still, man. 49ers have just been horrible, man. That offense can't move the ball to save his life, and that just means great field position for Aaron Rodgers and a lot of time for him to work. So the way I look at that, Aaron Rodgers pretty much the safest play. Um, Presents the most upside actually of any quarterback. But there's a salary killer, man. Especially if there's some guys you really like that's high priced, like maybe a Julio, maybe let's see. I don't think anybody will play AP versus the Broncos. Maybe like Forte, maybe like Odell Beckham Jr., uh, Jimmy Graham for whatever reason. So yeah, man. So if you're trying to just play it super safe, man, you don't want to take any chances. Aaron Rodgers is about as safe as you can get. Pretty much presents the highest upside. You see what he just did last week, 5 TDs against the Chiefs defense, which is pretty good, even though they are missing their corners. They are missing. They're down. They were down to like their fourth, first string corners, but still, Aaron Rodgers will shred any defense regardless. So if you want, you go Aaron Rodgers. Let's move on to the guy I'm liking a lot. And this is not my lineup. Just to let you guys know, I just filled this in. These are players that I like though for week 4. So, but this is definitely not my lineup. It's definitely nothing set in stone right now. So, um, another quarterback, Matt Ryan. I think he's pretty much a lock to hit value, man. He'll get you close to 20 to 25 points. I think he's going to be somewhere around that range. At 8,400, not bad at all. He's historically good at home. He's always been good at home actually. Got Julio Jones. Who else do you need, man? Julio Jones is just blowing the top off of defenses every week. They're making an effort to get him the ball, and we all know how explosive Julio Jones is. So that's something else I like. He's going to consistently get you around 2 TDs unless you have freaking Devontae Freeman getting 3 rushing touchdowns, which I don't see happening this week. So I think a lot of that will be in the air, which Matt Ryan should take advantage of. So I like Matt Ryan there versus Houston. Um, having a bit of struggles, a little bit of injuries on defense. I think Jadavion's coming back, a little gimpy. Jonathan Joseph hip problem. So Yeah, those are two guys, two key pieces on the defense, and they let Alex Smith air them out, man. That's all I have to say about that. Anybody who gets aired out by Alex Smith, definitely not somebody I trust. So, not a defense I'll trust because that's just bad. So Matt Ryan, pretty much a lot. Um, I think, to be honest, Matt Ryan's probably my favorite play today, if not well behind Aaron Rodgers, of course. But Matt Ryan, after Aaron Rodgers, Matt Ryan is pretty much who I'm heavy on. Who I'll be leaning on a lot. I know he's definitely going to be at least two of my lineups, the least. So Matt Ryan, good play. If you want to go super contrarian, this is definitely a GPP play. I'm not suggesting. I'm definitely not going to play him just because of the lack of weapons. But Cam Newton, um, he's getting a decent matchup in Tampa Bay. A lot of his value comes from getting rushing touchdowns because he's not going to air it out. He doesn't have the weapons. Um, right now, he's basically limited to just Greg Olsen and Jonathan Stewart. The wide receivers aren't that good. Ted Ginn, Funches, Katri, I think he's dealing with an injury. So there's not much to be desired there with Cam Newton because we know he's not going to air the ball out for 300 yards. That's not going to really happen unless he's playing a horrible defense. What I was looking at, Ted Ginn, you don't trust him. Philly Brown, do we trust him? Jericho Cotry, he's actually ruled out. So these receivers are not looking too good, man. I don't know if there's anybody on here we can trust. So Cam Newton, I can never play him unless I feel like he's gonna rush all over the field against these guys. So Cam Newton's out of the question. Next, scroll down. Uh, did I did like according to the stats, Eli Manning will make a great play here, just because Buffalo's been getting killed by QBs. But when you look at who they played Andrew Luck, Tom Brady threw the ball 50 times. If he's throwing the ball 50 times in a game, there's no way they're not going to give up a lot of points. And that's Tom Brady, man. The Patriots doing the vengeance right now. So Tom Brady, Andrew Luck, who both threw the ball like over 40 times, and then week 3 they won up so many points. They just giving up a lot of yards and playing pretty much bend but don't break defense. So against the Dolphins. So um, that could be an outlier right there. So I don't really trust Eli Manning, but I do think just if you go based off the stats, Eli Manning is a good play. But somebody I'm leaning at around his price, Tyrod Taylor, man. I definitely like him. This is something you guys can also look at too. That shows you what the fantasy points are. This isn't necessarily FanDuel, but you can get a gist of how much these teams are giving up. You could just, I think this still can translate well to FanDuel, but Giants seem to be a middle of the bottom 10 team against QBs. Giving up the most yards actually passing. So that's saying a lot right there. So Tyrod Taylor, not the gunslinger, but definitely has a few weapons he could get the ball into, guys who get yards after the catch and stuff like that. So, and he still has the ability to scramble, man. Let's look at what he's been doing rushing. So 41 yards first week, 43 second, and 12 last week, man. But he didn't have to do too much last week. The offense was just giving him the ball in great field position all game. A lot of turnovers from them. So Tyrod Taylor can easily hit value again. He looked like he's heating up a little bit, man. Back-to-back weeks with 3 passing TDs. So it's something I like to see. Got a home game against the Giants. So Tyrod Taylor, and last but not least, we move on to Derek Carr versus the Chicago Bears, man. Last 2 games, he's put up over 300 passing yards. He's looking pretty elite, like he's finding his how you I can't even think of the word right now. It's 2:38 in the morning if you guys can see top right, but he's getting in that zone, man. I don't know why I couldn't think of the word right there, but he's getting in the zone right now. Over 300 passing yards last 2 weeks, at least 2 TDs he's giving you. Um, Also, Chicago, they're 27th in fantasy points to QB, so that's a bottom 5 team. The QBs, their Carr might be looking to air it out, man. And if Jay Cutler isn't able to play today, I mean, isn't able to play Sunday, we definitely know those will be some short drives by Chicago, which will give Derek Carr more opportunities. So Derek Carr makes for a good play, especially at that price, 7K for a dude that can throw for over 300 yards, who's consistently throwing for 300 yards, even though it's only 2 games in a row. But and he's got you 3 TDs and 2 of those. So somebody I definitely like Derek Carr. So let's move on to running back now. We're not gonna hop on quarterbacks too long. Pretty much sold, like I said, I'm pretty much sold on Matt Ryan for the week. Running backs, Matt Forte's always a solid option every week. He's somebody he's an all 3 down back. So Matt Forte never leaves the field pretty much. 8,300 for somebody who get you 100 rushing yards, 50 receiving yards, and a TD. That's just the type of running back he is. He's probably wouldn't really touch anybody here. Marshawn Lynch dealing with an injury. Yeah, not getting too many touches. Jamal Charles, don't like him against the Bengals defense. They're pretty stout against running backs. And then the Broncos have been the best defense all season this year. So AP is always somebody. AP is still AP at the end of the day. So I just don't like the price on him against a team who's playing pretty good defense. So we're going to leave him alone. But after that, we go Forte. Pretty much solid. Think he's a good play, but I do think there's some running backs with pretty much similar upside because of matchup. So we're gonna talk about some of them. Latavius Murray, he's going against Chicago. They're giving up around 4.8 yards per carry to running backs right now. It's looking pretty bad there. Joseph Randle against the Saints defense, who's been pretty bad. We all know that Cowboys O-line could block for anybody. They could block for my little sister and get her 50 rushing yards in a game. So Joseph Randle he's always a solid play, just whether he'll get the touchdown or not, because they are using a lot of what's this guy Lance Dunbar for receiving downs too. So we'll see there, but he's still a solid play. Devontae Freeman, just based on touches, I like him, but I'm not sold on him. I don't want to chase points, but I do think he's a solid play. Melvin Gordon. If San Diego line wasn't so screwed up and freaking Danny Woodhead wasn't taking his 3rd down conversions and red zone opportunities, I love Melvin Gordon, man. I think they need to stop doing that to him, let him get the ball in the red zone. But yeah, man, I can't play him, especially with 4 out of 5 starting offensive linemen for the Chargers being injured. So can't do that there. But I did like him. Isaiah Crowell. San Diego's the bottom 3 team versus running backs, but don't trust the Browns offense to keep the ball on the ground, keep pounding it in. So we'll stay away from that. Carlos Williams, he's pretty much a lot if LaShawn McCoy's out for the game, because right now it doesn't look too good for LaShawn. Let me go check the injury report. I don't think he practiced today. Did I miss it? Let's scroll through. Damn. Okay. This is the Giants. Bills with Sean McCoy. This is a Friday too. He didn't practice on Friday. Oh, he's actually out. So, yeah, he's out. So, that makes for a good play right there. Carlos Williams pretty much gonna get all touches. Who else? I think they have Anthony Dixon in that lineup too. Or Bryce Brown. I don't see any of those guys stealing any touches away from him really. Oh yeah, Anthony Dixon here, but I don't see anybody taking those touches from him. So Carlos Williams, based off of the touches he's gonna get, and he scored a touchdown every week of the season. So this guy's pretty much been doing his thing, man, even off the bench. So Carlos Williams, good play. After that, let's move on. Let me scroll back down. Oh, yeah, my last running back that I like, Jonathan Stewart, just because Tampa Bay's been struggling with running backs a little bit. Let's go check it out. And they're giving up the fourth most fantasy points to running backs. Jonathan Stewart is pretty much the main back in Carolina. Their run first team. Makes for a good play, man. Not too many guys are still touches away from him, so I like Jonathan Stewart. Now let's move on to wide receiver, man. I'm not going to get too stat heavy with the wide receivers just because it's kind of late now. No, can't really get into this like that. But Julio Jones, man, he's pretty much seeing 1 million touches a game. Let's go look at this. This dude is averaging 11 touches a game. You not know what that is, man. I can't turn that. I can't turn that down. This dude has week one. He got 9 touches. Week two, 13. Week three, 12. So, he's pretty much getting the ball almost every game. You can't. It's no way he can't go off, man. Look at his numbers. Over 135 receiving yards, at least the last. Oh my God, like I'm fumbling over my words. Just marveling over these numbers, man. But Julio Jones, man, he's even at 9,400, he'll still probably hit value for you. Just needs about 150 yards of TD, which he can likely do so, which is likely fun to do so. I love Julio Jones there, man. So next, Odell Beckham Jr. Buffalo has been struggling against quarterbacks, but like I told you, it's mainly due to who they played. I don't know if I see Eli Manning as that elite prospect, but if those numbers hold true and Eli does have a good game, I think it'll be partly due to Odell Beckham Jr. having a good game as well. So hey, if you play Eli in the lineup, you might as well handcuff him Odell. Let's move on now. I'm not really feeling Demarius or AJ, and I'm actually a Broncos fan. I think the Vikings defense is pretty solid. AJ versus KC. I think KC is gonna get a lot of pressure on Andy Dalton and show he's not really that good this week. So I think that's a sleeper defense right there for the week, the Chiefs. But Randall Cobb pretty much consistent as how he's getting the top 5 touches. Let's scroll down as well. Who else I like? After Cobb, I'm liking Amari Cooper a lot. Told you guys why. Let's go check this out. Let's go see what the Bears are doing against wide receivers. Around 28 points, man. Let's look what they're doing. 38 receptions, 459 yards, 7 TDs. Red zone targets, 11. Okay. Bears looking like they're struggling a little bit over there, man. Let's see who's giving up the most. After the Chiefs, well, Aaron Rodgers just lit them up, so of course. Baltimore Ravens played 4 games already, so we can't really count them. So pretty much the Bears are pretty much second because they didn't even play their game yet. So the Ravens already played the game versus Steelers, a Thursday night game. So Bears looking like they're getting beat up a little bit at the wide receiver, the corner wide receiver matchup. So Cooper is definitely somebody I like. He's been getting a lot of touches as well. Derek Carr, I told you he's a good play. So Jay Cutler is out, man. I expect Derek Carr to air the ball out, man. I expect Oakland to really put up some points on Chicago this weekend. So Amari Cooper's a solid play. Jordan Matthews against the Redskins. Let's check this injury report so I can show you why I love Jordan Matthews. The numbers might not suggest to play him at that much, but okay, they're all the way at the top. Oh, let's go look at the Redskins. D'Angelo Hall did not practice. Chris Culliver did not practice. These are the 2 starting corners, man. They are about to get worked. I'm not sold on any backup corners, man. So the Redskins have a pretty stout run defense at that too. So I definitely think, man, they stopped the run, for Sam Bradford to start airing the ball out, man. Jordan Matthews pretty much his favorite target. He's seen the most targets from the Eagles this season. So him and Sproles are like the top 2 guys in the receiving game. So Jordan Matthews, definitely like him a lot. 7K, just needs to get a touchdown. He should have a lot more points than that, man. Last week he missed a touchdown by a yard. He missed getting a touchdown by 1 yard against the freaking Falcons. He actually scored a TD, but they ruled him out, and the Eagles never challenged it. So this dude, his price would probably be a lot higher if they actually reward him with his TD. So right now, man, it's pretty solid. He's getting the most touches, targets as well. So Jordan Matthews after that. Let's scroll down. Allen Robinson, a nice GPP play, man, if you believe in Bortles to get him the ball consistently, because the Colts defense has been actually bad this year, man. Pretty bad, man, and not really stopping anybody. Just let Tennessee put up around what they put up 27 on them last week, and we had the lead for most of the game, actually. Andrew Luck struggling a little bit. And Andrew Luck is actually dealing with a shoulder injury, and he's questionable. So Hey, Allen Robinson might be a good gamble. I'm not gonna knock it. Moncrief. This is if Andrew Luck plays. He's been pretty much Andrew Luck's favorite target through the first 3 weeks, man. T.Y. Hilton has been actually struggling. I don't know what's going on. He's not getting those targets like he was last year. Um, then next we got Pierre Garcon. We all know Eagles what they do against what the Eagles do to our receivers. They just let them run all over them, man. Let them catch it all over the field right now. They're fifth, man. And if you look, they paid for a corner in the offseason, Brian Maxwell, who's been getting burned all season. So, Pierre Garcon, I expect him to have a good game here. If this dude Kirk Cousins, could manage to do something positive for once. Then next, got Pierre Garcon. Excuse me, not Pierre Garcon, James Jones. This dude's been killing it, man. 6K for a dude that's getting you around, basically a touchdown a game. Every game he scored, so he just steps up the receiving yards a little bit, and we're fine there. So, at 6K, he can hit value, man. He gets you 80 yards in the TD. He's at value. So, James Jones, I definitely like him there. 6K, 2 times value right there. Possibly more if he goes for way over 100, which I think is possible for him against the San Fran defense. Then last but not least, my super GPP play, Percy Harvin, man. I definitely like him, man. He's leading the league in touches a game. Let's go check it out, actually, for wide receiver. Oh, yeah, I'm already there. Clicked it. This what happens when you do videos at almost 3 in the morning. So let's check it out, man. Through the first 4 weeks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's in there, man. He's getting. We can round this out to 7 touches a week. The Giants, and we got Marquise Lee and Sammy Watkins out. So check the injury report once again. Then wish I remember. Should I remember where it was at? Okay, Giants. This is Giants. Bill Sammy Watkins out. Got Marquise Goodwin dealing with some rib injuries. He's limited. And you got Percy Harvin pretty much full participation, Tyrod full participation. So I definitely think Percy Harvin, they're going to make an effort to get him the ball this week. He's pretty much their best playmaker on offense besides Tyrod Taylor. So Percy Harvin could definitely make for a solid GPP play, man. He doesn't need much but a TD and maybe like 80 total yards, which he could do from the ground game, do some jet sweeps and in the receiving game as well. So I like him. Let's move on. As far as tight ends go, I'm pretty much either on Jordan Reed or Greg Olsen, man. Nobody else really interests me. Jordan Reed's been seeing the most targets behind Gronk and Greg Olsen. Philly defense hasn't been that good, man. Not too many options to throw to, and usually it's a game managing quarterback. Who do they throw to most? The tight end. So that's why you're seeing a bunch of targets. And Jordan Reed, man, he gets a TD this week. He has the ability to go for 80 to 100 yards too for a tight end. That's why I like him. Greg Olsen, pretty much the #1 tight end this week. So if you're just going for security and a little bit of upside to it, that Greg Olsen's your play. And besides these two, I'm not touching anybody else. Kicker, that's up for grabs. I can't really suggest a kicker to anybody. I still don't even know who my kicker will be. But defense, as far as defense goes, I'm either on the Cardinals or the Broncos this week. Nobody else really interests me, man. Broncos pretty much the #1 total defense, forcing the most turnovers. They're sacking the QB. Cardinals, they're getting pick sixes every week. It seems like the Rams don't really have much of an offense. These guys can't really air the ball out, and the Cardinals' run defense is pretty stout. So they're forcing a bunch of turnovers as well. So that's why I like the Cardinals. And after that, man, that's pretty much it, man. Let me know what you guys think, man. If anybody's watching this, I appreciate the support and the love, man. Once again, like I always say, man, about to head up out of here. Peace.